Oh, I wanted to talk to you about Charlie Kirk, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that prophesized?
Well, he's got a whole bunch of info.
And this is and this will also even link up with Trump's assassination attempt because
that.
The thing is that first of all, we are in this totally links up with the Avatar. In fact, just 24 hours before the assassination, I was led to post something on YouTube where I'm talking about demonic shootings and demonic assassinations.
Is this before?
This is 24 hours before it happened.
Oof.
I'm led to put that up. And the thing is, number one, this was demonic because, see, and this is very much what the Avatar is. The Avatar.
No, but wait.
Yeah.
Taking it back a little, because we were talking about the witchcraft thing, the Jezebel thing.
Yes.
That, obviously, Hillary and Kamala, all that stuff is
interesting.
It is all about witchcraft, and I was on the left, so I know that. And I always say it's the entire left is run by lesbian witches. I don't know if they're all lesbians, but their philosophy is very anti-male, and so I just call them lesbian. And a lot of them are lesbians, but their philosophy is way whack. And they do, believe in the supremacy of women and moving energy to curse people.
Yeah.
And they do draw blood. A lot of them do. But I never did. But I always heard. I didn't join their clubs, but heard. So anyway.
Yeah.
24 hours before, but somebody was saying after Charlie was assassinated, that one billionaire had paid all these witches on Etsy to put a curse on Charlie.
Well,
now you're going to tie all this in.
Yeah. Well, first
they were called Jezebel, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes,
Jezebel.
Yes,
that was their website.
Yeah. First is that. It's like this. One of the things that the Avatar is bringing out is that there's such a spiritual war for the future of America.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's gotten so intense that it actually is shedding the blood of a key person, in this spiritual war.
Yes.
And so that's what we're dealing with the future of America. We got to but also, it was like a little before that, you had a demonic shooting in Minnesota.
Right.
And it was against, again, these demonic shootings, it's like against, a church or against people praying, what is this?
Children.
Children. That's demonic. And in fact, the guy in Minnesota actually drew a picture of a demon telling him to do it. I mean, totally demonic. Remember Nashville? Same thing. And there's the gender issue and this whole thing. So here Charlie Kirk is being asked about it at that very moment, asked about this shooting and about particularly this demonic shooting in Minnesota, and then demonic shooting comes to him, and there's all these issues. So that's the first thing, is we're dealing with a spiritual thing. Second, as you just said, yes, it's true, and it's not conspiracy theory. There was a woman who paid witches more than about 3, I think, at least 2 or 3, to place a curse on Charlie Kirk, and it just came out. It was just, she published this on September 8th. 2 days later, it happened. Yeah. And the thing is that one of the witches took a photo of Charlie Kirk and burned it. I mean, this is, now listen, God's in charge, not the witches, but we do know there are actors and forces, and so this is what that's about.
It's a war.
Yeah, it is a war. And for instance, the place where this all happened, it was in Orem, Utah. You know what Orem means? Means the dragon.
Jeez.
I didn't know that.
And also means it's a double thing. It means the dragon and the serpent. And there's only one who's called both. It's in Revelation in the Bible is the enemy. And of course, and then Charlie Kirk. Think about that. What does his name mean? It means church. So it's a war against the church or the people of God. And so the dragon, he came to the land of the dragon struck him, but of course he doesn't win, and God's going to use it for good. God's going to use it for the good. But so there's a whole big thing. And yes, the other thing is, you said it, the organization that the woman who placed the curse on him or had the witches was working for Jezebel, an organization. Jezebel, I mean, of all things, you know, and in the Bible, and we were saying this before, and it's interesting, it's because Jezebel rises up in the Bible when then linked to the nation turning away from God. So if we turn away from God, we're going to have this spirit.
You create a vacuum, something rushes in to fill the space.
Exactly. They call them liberals.
Exactly. There's a parable, that Jesus told, that he said that a man is possessed, he gets delivered, and then he stays empty. It's a vacuum. It stays empty. So it says the spirit comes back and brings 7 others. And so the worse, he ends up being worse. And people are like, okay, that's about a guy. Well, it's not about a guy. It's about an entire civilization, because he says it's with this generation. What happened is when Jesus, or Yeshua, when he spread forth the gospel, what it did is it drove out the gods, drove out the spirits. So it was like an exorcism that happened to the West. But the warning is, any nation or civilization or culture, if it once knew God and empties itself of God, what was cast out is going to come back in.
Right.
And so what we've been watching since like the 60s onward, we drove out God. And we've been watching not just like a general thing. This is one of the things of the Avatar. It's not just a general kind of the gods. We can actually identify them because they're in the Bible.
Yeah.
For instance, you got Baal. When Israel turned away from God, you had Baal. So this is the spirit that drives God out of everything and replaces it with paganism. And his sign was the bull. Which we talked about that brazen bull in Wall Street, But and actually, you know what it is with paganism? With paganism, it's with polytheism, with you have one God, you got one truth. You got truth. But when you have many gods, you don't have one truth. Everybody has their own truth. It's my personal truth. If a woman says I'm a cat, that's her personal truth. So, but then once when Baal comes in, it's a dark trinity I write about in the book. And there's a dark. The second one is a goddess named Ishtar, and in the Bible she's called Ashtoreth. And the thing about Ishtar, what is she? She's the goddess of sexual immorality. And she's a prostitute goddess. And so what happens is, she sexualizes the culture. So children sexualizes children. And actually, you know what? The word for her in Greek, when the Greeks worshipped her, they called her porne.
Jeez.
Pornography comes from this goddess. Wow. And so, and here's the other thing, get maybe a little bit more explosive. That is that this goddess, in her ancient inscriptions, it says, I am a woman, I am a man.
Yeah.
And so it's the goddess who merges male and female, boy and girl, and one of her signs was the rainbow.
Wow.
And the month that she especially possessed the culture was the month of June, or Pride Month. Ancient times, all back. The third of the Dark Trinity is Moloch, which is offer up your children. And that's what happened. So all these things have happened. And when you're looking, by the way, Jezebel worshipped the goddess Ishtar. So it's a connection all over the place. You got Hillary, you got Kamala, and you have the spirit of this, and you got actually an organization. But you know what Jezebel did? Jezebel hunted down righteous people to kill them. She tried to kill Elijah. Whoever was standing for God, like Charlie Kirk, standing for God, she's got to kill them. And so it's amazing that it was actually someone named Jezebel. And the other thing, people say, well, why did it happen? Like, why did God allow? Well, think about this too. Because Trump also had witches placing curses against him.
They tried to shoot him.
Exactly.
I mean, continuously. And you know what? And you know what happened recently is when they tried to, when he was coming back, and their stories came out that the witches were saying our spells aren't working against him.
Yeah.
They said he's got some shield around him, and we believe it's the prayers of Christians, the prayers of God's people. So now they tried to assassinate him too. Okay, as we all know,
a lot of times.
Yes, and it was and we all know it was a miracle. That was a fraction of an inch, fraction of a moment. But there's a whole mystery from the Torah in this, and that to that assassination.
Oh boy, what's that?
Okay, what happens is, in order for somebody to be anointed to serve God's purposes, there's a special anointing or ritual or consecration in the Torah. The priests of Israel, they had to go through a certain thing in order to be anointed to or marked to serve God. It involved blood, and the blood, according to the mystery in the Torah, had to touch the ear of the one being anointed. It had to touch the ear. It has to touch the right ear, so it touches his right ear.
Wow.
I never heard this one.
Yeah.
Never read
it has to touch the right ear. It has to touch the tip of the right ear. That's why that happened. Then it has to touch the hand. First thing that Trump does is he raises his hand to touch the blood. It has to touch the right hand, so it was the right hand. Has to touch the right thumb. If the first thing goes up, it's the thumb with the blood. Then the anointing centers on the feet. Okay, now for this to happen, the shoes of the man being anointed have to be removed, or you cannot have the anointing. The anointing, he has to have his shoes removed. So of course he's pushed down. He's pushed down to the ground. He's going, where are my shoes? His shoes are removed, and he's going on the blood. By the way, that's where the blood was dripping. And there's so much to this. I can't go through all the detail, but let me tell you one
buy
other.
his book, everybody.
Well, it is in the book, in the Avatar. But here's the thing, that from the moment, the day that the blood touches the ear of the man, it's a 7-day ritual or consecration. 7 days. On the 7th day, the man whose the blood has been touched is invested to go and serve in the office, serve God. Okay. Now, what happens if you count from the day that it touched his ear? Hebrew days. Now, Hebrew days, as we all know, begins at sundown. Okay. Yeah. So the first day was that Saturday. It happens. The second day begins at sundown to sundown. Second day. Count the sundowns. The 7th day begins Thursday night. Thursday night, July 18th. Anything happen? Thursday night, July 18th, no. Trump is standing before the world, and he receives the nomination to become the president of the United States. Wow. On the 7th day.
Is that what happened? Oh, you're right.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you see, my patience is growing thin.